Are Blackpool Pleasure Beach going to actually remove Grand National? Because that is all of the talk at the minute. So, welcome to episode 8 of the Dispatch podcast here on Your Experience Guide. I'm Scott. This is Steve. Steve, coming straight to you. Are they going to remove the Grand National?
I hope not. That's news to me, that one. What a bombshell. So where's this come from?
So it's come from a charity site, I believe they're called 20th Century Society, and they basically report on listed buildings. Now, of course, as you know, the Grand National is a Grade 2 listed building. Now, on their website, they discuss or announce things that are at risk. Now, about a week, maybe a week and a half ago, obviously we've both been busy in Salou and doing other stuff, so we've only just had time to talk about this. But yeah, basically about a week ago, they put an article on their website saying the Grand National is at risk and that Pleasure Beach are considering going to Blackpool Council's planning team and basically saying, we want this listed status removed because we want to remove this ride. This is what the charity site are claiming. However, if you email the Blackpool Council planning team, which is the email that's on the website of the C20 Society or whatever they're actually called, if you actually email the email that they've given you to email to shout about it at Blackpool Council reply to you. I'll put it on the screen now because someone sent me an email that they received. Basically, Blackpool Council are like, we've heard nothing about this. So what on earth's going on? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's that's a strange one. With it being listed, I think they will find it difficult to be able to do anything change-wise with the ride as well. This would probably include any substantial changes. So I know that there's I recently went on Stampeder at Port Ventura and they've put the Titan track on their roller coaster. That would probably restrict them being able to do that with the Grand National because they'd have to keep it as close to the original. To be honest, the Titan track was the best part of Stampede, if you ask me.
It was,
but yeah, I think it would. The listed status would prevent that from happening. Now, the issue is, at what point do you start saying, well, is it actually economical to keep this ride going?
That's the thing. Now, just kick the table, Scott. Yeah, the thing about, I'm just going to move on from the Grand National very briefly and say that Stampeder, the Titan track, is the best part of the ride now. But I hate that. I hate it because it looks awful on wood. It just doesn't work in my mind. It just, like, Stampeder, Far West area, it's a stampede through the Far West. It's a wooden coaster. It's supposed to be wooden, not steel. So why have we got Titan track on it? Surely it would have been better to just get some new trains and get actual manufacturers in to do the work rather than just constantly doing it in-house every year and persisting with those bloody awful trains it's got. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant here already, and we're not even about 5 minutes.
The new trains that are 20 years old.
Good point. Yeah, but it needs new trains, basically. But it's just like, the trains are awful. The track didn't used to be awful. Obviously, the heat's an issue.
Yeah.
Because all the wooden coasters in Spain are rough. But I think you get a proper wooden coaster company in to retrack it, including GCI, just not Titan track, and get decent trains on it. And that solves half of the issues, if not all of them. But back to the Grand National, I do not want to see it converted into anything steel.
No.
Like, no steel track, no Titan track, no 208 track from RMC, no RMC conversion, just no. But back to the actual point of that article, they claim that Pleasure Beach are actively looking to get the listed status removed. So what I'm interested to know is, where have they got this from? Because they surely wouldn't just make this up.
No, it's a bit of a... It's like something must have been whispered or something must have been said for the red flag to kind of be raised on the Grand National's removal. I'll be honest, I think its days have been numbered for a long time. As I said in the vlogs earlier this year, considering it's having a major refurbishment, there's very little actual work going on with the ride compared to when Big Dipper had its refurbishment, when there was scaffolding pretty much all over the thing. We haven't seen the same on the Grand National. I think there's been some work where the lift motor is, and a bit of painting. Besides that, I've not really seen anything else. Now, there will be other stuff going on that we can't see. So, I'm not saying they're not doing anything. They probably are doing stuff on the ride. but it's not very visual
No.
for us to see compared to when Big Dipper had its refurbishment.
There is a thing for that though. It is kind of out of view.
Yes.
And like if you go on Bond Street behind it, then you might see that there's work going on. But I have not seen anything of note yet going on with it. I mean, when I did the walk round in January, I think it was, or early February, you know, when I did the close season walk round, there was nothing going on at that point. Now, of course, I don't often walk in the behind the scenes areas at Pleasure Beach, so I can't always see what's going on. But I do feel like we'd maybe have seen a little bit more going on if there was lots of sort of, well, as if it was on the Big Dipper scale, basically.
Yeah. I don't think that's the same situation we've got this time round. So, yeah, I think it'll be a shame if it does get its grade 2 listed status taken away. Now, my belief of should rides be listed or not is along the lines of no. But the issue with the Grand National is it's been there so long. It's been there way longer than it should have been, along with a lot of the other rides at Pleasure Beach, unfortunately. And I think this is where Leesburg and Pleasure Beach differ significantly, where Leesburg has a lot of history behind it, but they've always renewed the rides, so they don't really have anything that's particularly ancient. Whereas everything at Pleasure Beach is a classic.
Yeah.
And that's where they've got the issue, because everything has the potential to be listed. You could go around that park and list everything. Near enough.
That'd be awful.
Exactly. And like even Steeplechase, like that could be listed, you know. Revolution, they are the last of the kind out there, and they could easily just end up being listed along with so many other attractions because they are historically significant. Now, I think this is what the Pleasure Beach have kind of manufactured by lack of innovation over the last 20 years, but hopefully they are stepping in the right direction now, and we've seen like the demolition works taking place on the Boilerdrome building. I think that the future is looking brighter than it has been in the past 20 years. I just hope that it's not too late to happen. But like I know I'll be supporting them all the way to try and get some new attractions in. And
yeah, I mean, last year, yes, we were very, very critical of Pleasure Beach, and I could not see light at the end of the tunnel for the park. I could only see it going one way. Either they'd sell up or close forever. But having had a conversation with people who are in the know and making the decisions and giving me an idea without giving me all the information of this is the plan, and that plan is now out there. They are planning on evolving the park. They are planning on taking the park from 1990 or 1994, whatever, to 2026, 2027, 2030, because they need to. Pleasure Beach cannot live on nostalgia alone. They have tried it, and it's not worked.
Yeah, I do think that there is a market for Pleasure Beach and its history, but it is a matter of kind of moving on with new stuff as well as keeping some of the old stuff.
But that's what they're doing. That's the thing. But I think we've all now I've sort of got an understanding of where they're going, and obviously we had a chat, and I know that we weren't the only ones with the park in terms of, look, this is our vision for the future, but we're not going to tell you everything, but this is our vision for the future. And I know that we weren't the only ones that had that chat over winter, but now that we've had that chat and other people have had that chat, that's why we're kind of looking at it going, okay, the park is struggling. The park has got rides that are closed. There is capacity issues at times. Luckily, like now, Big One's back on 2 trains. But they are kind of in a bit of a transition period where they have got to be given a bit of patience. Now, I know that the general public are very unforgiving and they'll only have probably one theme park trip a year. And at the minute, they might not pick Pleasure Beach because they might go, well, you're not opening a new ride until next year. You've got a few things closed. We don't know when the Grand National is going to open. And we'll get back onto the subject of the National in a minute. But I think I can understand why people are frustrated with the Pleasure Beach, but I also think we need to give them some time as well to sort of actually get where they want to be. For me, it feels like for the first time in about 20 years, they've got a vision and a direction in which they're going to follow. and they've no longer taken like a scattergun approach of going, oh, that park's doing this, we need to try and do something similar, but they're not doing it as well or just not doing it very well at all. But I'm willing to give them a couple of years now to see where the park goes, because they can't live in the past. They can't live in the past. It's not 1994. Free entry ain't going to work, because if they have free entry, they've got to get rid of like school trips. And I know their school trip season does really well for them. So if you bring free entry back, that has to go. So there's a big sort of guaranteed amount of money gone straight away. And what's it gone for? So someone could walk around and might buy a coffee. Is it worth it?
I think that the concept of free entry has gone. Like, how long has it been now since they stopped doing?
October 2008 is when they stopped it, and they had a 4-week trial where it was basically a £5 to get in, alongside the usual wristband price, which I think was about 20 quid at the time.
Yeah,
and the park was really busy. So I think off of that 4 weeks they trialed it, which was obviously a peak time, illuminations. It worked really well for them. So that's why they went through with the decision.
Yeah. I have seen a lot of buy one, get one free offers for Pleasure Beach recently, which we haven't seen for a very long time. I think the last time would have been when we first started going to Pleasure Beach, when they had they had a deal with the Daily Store, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it was plastered all around the park, the Daily Store, and you could get free tickets and whatnot through buying the Daily Store newspaper. I do think that having something along them lines, or having the buy one, get one free, will massively help get people into the park as well. As the person who does want the walk around pass, they can just have the free ticket.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're at the point now where the free entry conversation just has to stop. It's never going to come back. Like, I appreciate people want it to come back, but it's just not going to happen. And I see so many comments about, well, the park's failing because it's not free entry. We need to remember the situation Pleasure Beach was in when it was last free entry. Because between 2000 and 2008, the park was on a massive decline after 2000. They really, really struggled when free entry was still a thing. And that wasn't through a lack of investment, because they had Valhalla, Spin Doctor, and Bling. They all happened in a short space of time. And of course, the big one was still this massive thing to people at the time. There wasn't many rides out there that you could easily get to that were bigger than it. There was probably Silver Star in Europe, and that was about it. So it was still a massive thing in Europe as far as being a tall coaster goes. The park nearly went out of business. There is people that I know that worked at Pleasure Beach in 2008 who were handed their redundancy notices. Now, luckily, that didn't happen. The park stayed on, and those people stayed on. And I know that some of those people have now left Pleasure Beach, but they remember very well what it was like at the end of 2008 when they thought the park was done. Now, I always remember as well, on the last day of the 2008 season, the main season, we watched a show that was on called Forbidden. And me and a group of friends, Mike, Graham, and a few others were there, Stuz, and a couple of guys from Pleasure Beach came over, and they were like, we appreciate what you're saying about the park, but we need your support because we are going to shut down if the park doesn't improve in 2009. And we were like, really? And they were like, yes, we need your support. So that was in an era of free entry. If free entry was such an amazing thing that works so well for Pleasure Beach, they would still be a free entry park. Now, in terms of the non-rider pass, now that's a completely different subject, and I think that there is maybe some reason to bring that back, definitely, especially at peak time. But at the same time, I can see why maybe they don't want to bring it back. They want people in the park, riding the rides, and secondary spending on things like on-ride photos, fast passes, and other such stuff, Enzo. They don't necessarily just want people wandering around now and buying a coffee and going home again, because that's probably not very profitable to them. So I'm going to let you get a word in now.
Well, it's interesting talking about the we've moved on from the Grand National to free entry.
We'll go back to the National. We will go back to the National in a minute.
I was going to make a quick point on the free entry there. Yeah, okay, so if you're taking your grandchildren to go to Pleasure Beach, it's probably cheaper for you having the one price than it would be for the ticket system, because back when the ticket system kind of stopped, I think the big one was on was it £11 or something?
Yeah.
So if you're paying like 11, if they have, free goes on the big one, it's costing you a lot of money. So I do think that having the pay one price is better if you are going to do the rides. But I do understand it is a little bit frustrating if you're not doing the rides and you are paying full price. But overall, I think it would be a cheaper day out because
Yeah.
Pleasure Beach was a matter of how much do you want to spend?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go on lots of rides, then that's fine, you can, but it'll cost you
Yeah.
and it'll keep costing you.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, I think this is often overlooked because of the e-ticket and the old wristband system. You can now ride like the big one 5, 10, 15 times in a day if you want to. Back when it was pay per ride, if you wanted to do that every time, it was £4.20, or when it went up to £8, I think, and then like you say, £11 or £12. It's cheaper to get an all-day riding wristband or e-ticket, as they're called now. What I would offer, if it was up to me, is for every e-ticket that's bought, a walk-round pass is offered. So someone still has to pay to go in and do the rides. So, for example, you've got 4 people, you've got 2 people that want to do the rides, 2 people that aren't so keen on doing the rides, but they just want to go in and, watch, say, their brother, their sister, their mum, their dad, family member, friend, whoever, go on the rides. But, they're a little bit of a nervous rider. They don't want to go on everything. They just want to ease themselves into it, and they just want to walk around the pleasure beach with their friends who are going on the rides. Then I would offer it. Then I would be like, look, you've got 2 people here who are buying an e-ticket to go on all the rides. That's 60 quid, let's say. So with those 2 tickets, we're going to offer you 2 walk-around tickets for a tenner each or a fiver each or whatever. Then you can all go in together. You get Pleasure Beach Express with that and whatever else they want to throw in. But for me, I don't know how exactly I would do it. But for every e-ticket, I would offer a non-rider pass. There you go. And it gets around this issue of, well, my son wants to go on all the rides, but I don't want to. So there you go. You can both still go in. But I don't think they're just going to bring round a walk-round pass on the off chance that people might go in and go, actually, I will do everything. Or, yeah, I'm going to buy 20 coffees.
Well, it's the people who get the pass and then change their mind, because I've seen that quite a lot. And I've seen it many times waiting for like the big one back when you had both systems, and people trying to access it using the walk-around pass, not understanding that that doesn't get you the rides.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that having the paid entry is the way forwards. Ideally, I would like it across the board. I wouldn't offer the walk around pass at all. I'd get rid of the turnstiles and just have it as you get in, there you go, there's the
off you go, like it was in 2020.
Yeah, but like I'll take the turnstiles out.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. In 2020, the turnstiles were there, but you didn't have to scan.
Oh, did you not?
No, you just went through. I guess you'd have been working.
Yeah, I would have been working.
But yeah,
very, very busy 2020 was for me. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, back to the subject of the Grand National then. Really sorry we went off subject. But to be honest, these are all relevant things. There's things that just keep coming round and round and round. And obviously, we don't want to just do Pleasure Beach videos all the time. But there's so many talking points about Pleasure Beach that it's, considering our background of being Pleasure Beach experience, it'd just be daft for us to ignore these subjects. So that is why we're talking about them again. So Grand National, obviously, is a fresh story. What do you want to see happen with it? What should happen with it?
Personally, I think the Grand National should stay. I think it's got a very beautiful station. I do like the Art Deco style of the station, and it looks great at night. I do think the control system has never worked since it was put in properly. With like it works, like it is safe. Like, well, it's just not very well programmed. Is probably the best way to put it. So it has a lot of downtime, and it doesn't move the trains properly forwards, and then it takes lots of attempts to get it parked in the correct place. And it's ever since they took the I'm going to refer to the old Grand National trains, because when it had those, it was very much operated manually. It had like with levers, a bit like how Big Dipper and Roller Coaster operate.
Yeah.
So when they had its fire in 2004, they actually upgraded. Was it 2004? I think.
So the fire was 2004, then 2005 they ran on 2 trains.
That's right. Yeah.
Old trains, let's say.
That's
and then
correct.
2006, April 2006. It opened with the new braking system, and well, it was new then. It opened with a new braking system and new trains at the time.
Yeah. So when they brought in the new PTC trains, the it used to take quite a long time for them to park. It has got better over the years, but I remember when it first opened, I think it was like 35 nudges
Yeah.
to like get parked in the correct position. It wasn't great. And to be fair, on a ride like that, you can run 4 trains on it and it should work fine. The fact that it took so long to bring the trains down that it was setting itself up and stopping on a lift hill and causing all kinds of problems. So I'd just like to see it get a bit of a revamped control system. I would like to see new trains on it. I don't know what kind of trains I would like, but I would like to see new trains on it. I don't really like those PTC trains, and I know they have to be quite high-sided because of the structure.
Yeah.
But like when you go on like Megaphobia, which is a similar train design, it's a lot more comfortable than the Grand National. So yeah, it's a catch-22 situation. I love the Grand National. It was my favorite roller coaster for a very, very long time, and the airtime on it is incredible. I do think in the last 5 years, my love for it has reduced. But like, I'd just love to see it kind of get back to it how it was in the old days, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like I say, I'd be more sad about losing the station building than anything else, to be honest, because I do think the station building looks fantastic.
So, what I'd do, and I've wrote this on social media so many times, I'd get Gravity Group in, and I'd get them to do what they did with Megaphobia, but I'd get them to do the whole thing. And it would be, the good thing about Gravity Group is they are a wooden coaster manufacturer, and they have stayed true to their legacy and their roots. They have not gone down the steel route. They've got a new slogan, "Thou shall not steal," which does make me laugh. I would love to see them basically do what they've done with the Beast, Megaphobia, and Racer, and other rides and woodies that they've worked on, where they've basically used their pre-cut engineering methods and turned these old woodies that were getting too rough, hard to maintain, into still traditional wooden coasters with a little bit of modern tech, new methods, new techniques, still woodies, and they've turned them back into incredible roller coasters and just made them a lot better and made sure that these rides can last another 20, 30 years at least. So for me, that is the perfect solution, because it doesn't have to be a case of they come in and rebuild the whole thing. They just need to shore up the structure, maybe change the profiling on some of the drops, maybe change the corners a little bit, make them a little bit more banked or whatever. Just little tweaks here and there, like they did with Megaphobia, like they've done with the Beast, like they've done with Racer at Kings Island 2. They've done a great job on all those woodies, a really good job. I'd love to see them do it on the National, because I think they'd not only make it smoother, they'd make the airtime just as good, if not better. And the Grand National would be here for many, many, many more years, probably longer than I'll be riding coasters, and that's what I want. I do not want to see it RMC'd, and I'm willing to put my neck on the line here. It'll never happen. It will never be converted into something like Untamed, Steel Vengeance, Twisted Colossus, Zadra, whatever you want, whatever example. The Grand National is not going to become one of those rides, and I'll tell you why it's not going to happen. Space. There is no space.
Yeah.
Literally next to the Grand National, there is an access road for the emergency services, for bin trucks, for lorries, for the staff, security, whoever, to use to get in and out of the park when they need to. It is a very important road that runs behind or through the Grand National and into the park. Now, we don't want to see it where, say, an ambulance or the fire brigade or the police are required. That is their quickest route into Pleasure Beach on the north side of the park. Pleasure Beach are not going to put some massive RMC supports and structure on that road. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That road literally is right next to the National. Also, Grand National is 62 foot tall.
Yeah.
The smallest RMC is 90 foot tall. You're not getting an RMC in there. And the other thing as well, I'm sorry to keep going, it has very, very few concrete supports. Mostly it's still built into sand.
Yeah.
So to convert it into a steel or hybrid coaster, you're rebuilding the structure, you're rebuilding the track, you need new trains, you're taking an access road out of service. Is it worth it for Pleasure Beach? Absolutely not. And then you've got the fun fact of just how loud it'll be right next to that school that's across the road.
Yeah.
Too loud. Way too loud. I think when Pleasure Beach are not immune from noise pollution complaints. And obviously, the older rides have been there a lot longer than the people who live around the park. But if you put a very, very noisy RMC there, the locals are not going to be happy.
No, they're not. I think that you've made some very good points there, that the structure of the Grand National just simply isn't compatible with RMC. To put an RMC in, you would have to flatten the Grand National.
So it's no longer the Grand National, is it?
No, you would have to flatten the lot. It doesn't have, like I say, it has very few concrete supports. Most of it is into the sand. You would need to add foundations. You've got to bear in mind that most of the conversions that they have done have been of relatively modern coasters built in the 80s and 90s. Not really old historic coasters like the Grand National. So yeah, it wouldn't be compatible.
And it's the same for Big Dipper too. Same situation. Because the thing with Big Dipper is, you think about its footprint, either side of it, Confusion, Icon, Big One, Steeplechase, Big Blue Hotel, Nickelodeon Streak at one point is not far off from it when it goes around the corner by Big Blue. Where are the extra supports going? They're not, are they?
I have the attitude you could build anything anywhere, but like
not having it.
You stack it on top.
Well, maybe if you keep Big Dipper and build over it, but
yeah,
I don't think you're converting any Pleasure Beach woodies. But I'm just going to throw this out there. I have been saying this since 2018 on this channel, and so far I've been right. And I think in 5 or 6 years we're still not going to see an RMC in terms of one of the Pleasure Beach's traditional wooden coasters RMC converted. Not happening.
It's not happening. I can tell you now. You'd get something built ground up if it was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think people realise just how tight the Grand National space is. It is packed into such a tight space. And turning it into an RMC, not going to happen. Put Titan track on it, then you're going to need to basically rebuild the structure because, there's even complaints about the trains being too heavy for it. So if the trains are too heavy for it, imagine lumping some extra big steel track on it and then some heavy trains on top of it. Not going to happen, in my opinion. It might be proven wrong. There might be a load of comments on this video in 24 months' time going, "You were wrong, Scott, you were wrong." But I'm willing to predict that I'm going to be right on this. So in terms of whether I think it'll stay, though, I don't know. Overall, long term, what do you think?
I honestly don't know. I would, if it was going to stay long term, I'd be expecting a bit more work going on now while it's down. So I don't know. I don't want it to go. So the heart inside of me says it's staying.
Yeah.
I'm being selfish.
Would you be unhappy? I don't know. This is going to cause a stir. I'm sorry. Would you be happy if they get it open for this summer, for its 90th anniversary, having done a bit of a refurb, got it spruced up, got it ready for July, August, and illumination season, 90th anniversary, like they've said, and then at the end of it, they announced that the Grand National is going to close at the end of the season permanently, and then it will be SBNO, but it's been refurbed, it's open for its 90th anniversary, and you've had your last rides on it. How would you guys feel about that, and how would you feel about that? This is not me being in the know, this is just me predicting and speculating about something that could actually happen.
So, because the Grand National, this is a bit different to like Grand Prix, for instance.
Yeah.
They did a closing event for that, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Grand National, in my eyes, is a roller coaster a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of. And I think that it needs a good farewell. If that's the intention, I do think we need to know about it and be told, look, this is the last time you're going to be able to ride the Grand National as it is, if they're going to potentially do something else to it to make it operational again. If maybe they might be considering Titan tracking or something. I know you don't like that, but if they are, it'd still be nice to have that come and do it before we do it, because at the end of the day, I do think that the Pleasure Beach would be able to make a good case to Titan track something like the Grand National, because of the safety, the costs, and the wooden coasters cost a lot of money to maintain. I think it's something like 40% more than a steel coaster.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing that Pleasure Beach have all these wooden coasters, but they are very costly to keep going, and you have to have a team of joiners on them, working on them, and if you have the Titan track, that eliminates quite a lot of that work. So they would benefit from long-term cost savings that could be invested in new rides and other attractions.
I would not be shocked if they do get it open for its 90th anniversary. They said they're going to do it, and then further down the line announced that, yes, it is done. How would I feel about that? Well, I'd be absolutely devastated that the National was gone. But if they do give us 2 or 3 months' notice to come and get your final rides on it, come and experience it for one last summer and one last illumination season, and they're open and they're honest about it, fair enough. As long as they don't replace it with a hotel or a car park, and it is actually replaced with some sort of ride, then I'll probably be accepting of it. But what I would be disappointed is if it does reopen and then it just closes and it goes, or it just sits SB&O for years. And this is why I don't think rides should be listed. Because if they get to the point where they need so much work, but a park can't afford it, so they can't afford to reopen it or work on it, you've then got a listed attraction that's just going to sit there for years and rot. I'll give you a prime example, and I'm sorry to say it. Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
There is no need for Noah's Ark to be listed. There is no need for Noah's Ark to still be at the entrance of the park. If that wasn't listed, they could have flattened it and built a proper entrance. And it would have made getting into the park so much easier for people. But it's still there, so they've got this tiny little entrance which gets really busy in the summer and on peak days that doesn't need to be there. Noah's Ark does not need to be there anymore. It's never reopening. So why is it still there? What's the point of it? And this is a situation we end up with Grand National potentially.
Well, no one can enjoy it, can they?
No, it's like, oh, there's a Grand National. Never going on that again. You know what I mean? This is why rides should not be listed, in my opinion. I don't care about all the historic. If their time's done, they're done. They need to go. They can't just be sat there taking up valuable space on a 42-acre site. Sorry, I'm ranting again.
I think we should wrap it up.
Shall we move on to the news?
The
news. Good news.
Good news, everybody.
Good news. It is good news for Halloween fans. And yes, I know it is only April, but good news. There is a new Halloween event coming this year called Halloween Haunt Fest. And they have got the UK's first ever officially licensed Texas Chainsaw Massacre IP maze. Will you be giving it a go?
Absolutely not.
No, you're not into that, no.
No. I'll leave that one for you and Morg to go and enjoy.
Yes, we will. We will be going in October. I'm very much looking forward to it. There's this new event that's been started up this year. It's got some very experienced people from the scare industry making the mazes and just working on the event in general. And I'm sure at ScareCon in a couple of weeks' time, we'll hear even more about it. And some further good news on the Halloween front is that Tully's Shocktoberfest and the Howl are returning this year, and tickets are going on sale soon. Phase 4. They are 2 of the best Halloween events you will ever do. So you should do them. Absolutely. That includes you.
No, absolutely not. I don't think I can cope with it.
You'd be fine. You'd be fine. I think you'd enjoy the street theatre interactions.
I don't know. To be fair, I did quite enjoy SeaWorld's event until I got chased by lots of chainsaws.
I don't know how that happened, you know.
No, it's funny that. I don't know how it happened after you spoke to one of them.
All I said to the actor was, my friend over there doesn't like chainsaws. It wasn't my fault that 4 or 5 of them just appeared to, out of nowhere chase you and get you into big trouble with security for running.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Have you got any news?
News. So quite a lot's happened since we last did the podcast.
Yes.
All happened while I was away.
Anything interesting happening in Bedfordshire?
There is something. Well, there's been rumours of something interesting happening in Bedfordshire for 2 years. However, they finally announced that they do have intent to go ahead with Universal Great Britain.
Yes.
Which I'm really looking forward to, and I'm sure we'll be doing lots of speculation videos on what we would like to see there, what they could be putting in. They've released some concept art as well, which is a little bit vague on what's going in, but you can kind of piece things together to see what they kind of got in mind. So I'm really excited for that project.
Are you excited to go 88 miles per hour on a launch coaster in a Back to the Future area?
It does look like Hill Valley, doesn't it?
It
That little
does.
Square. So I'd love that. I love Back to the Future movies. I actually watched it last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Precisely on schedule.
Well, we were talking about it, so I was like, oh, I need to watch it. So I watched the first one, and I have intentions to watch the next two over the next few weeks.
I watched the new series of Grace. Series 5, John Sim. It's very good. You like John Sim in Life on Mars?
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Okay.
It's almost like it's what would happen to him if he hadn't got hit by that car. But Back to the Future, I'd love it. What main things for me is Back to the Future area would be incredible. Also, there's got to be Jurassic Park. If Jurassic Park and Back to the Future in there, anything else, I'm easy with.
Yeah.
Easy. And I know there's been a lot of talk about should or shouldn't Harry Potter be in there, and I know there's obviously the controversy that always surrounds that these days. I don't think that Harry Potter is completely off the table.
No,
And I know a lot of people say that, they can't do it because of Warner Brothers. Again, like I've said before, money talks.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers are in a bad position. Like, if their Superman film fails this summer, which is tough luck if it does for all the crap they've done to the actors who were in the last films. But yeah, if that fails, they are in big, big trouble, and they will need every little bit of money that they can get off anybody. And they will be more than happy to license stuff to Universal again. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, no, I think I'd seen those areas would be great. Harry Potter particularly would be great to see. I think you've got to have it in a Universal park now. Like, I think every Universal park has some kind of Harry Potter attraction. Now, I think they might have to think outside the box. I don't think we'd get a typical Harry Potter area, but I do think something is going to come.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, though. I'm fine if it's different again. I mean, obviously, what they've done with Epic looks epic, and we'll find out about that eventually. But that looks good. Islands of Adventure is great, as much as I didn't want to admit it. Like, Forbidden Journey is so good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that vlog from last September, please do check it out. I'll put it in the top of the screen. Because I was insistent that I wouldn't like Forbidden Journey, and then I loved it. So
yeah,
I've never watched a Harry Potter film. I'm going to say that every time because that's never going to change. It just doesn't interest me. But what the areas in the theme parks are incredible. Like, I've really grown to like Hagrid's. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I really do like it. I think they've done a great job with it. I think it's the perfect expansion for Universal UK.
Yeah.
Where numbers are starting to drop off a little bit and that initial hype's died down. And they just need something to get everyone excited again. They go, hey, guess what? We're going to do a Potter expansion. And then all of a sudden, the interest is right back up there.
Yeah.
It's the perfect trump card they've got for that, 100%.
Yeah. So in other news...
More news?
Yeah. So it all happened at the same time. So Epic Universe has now opened for previews.
Yes, it has.
And it looks absolutely epic.
Should we go at some point?
Potentially.
Yeah,
Potentially. I think we should consider it.
I think we should consider it.
But like, from what I am actually avoiding knowing too much about the park, but what I have seen looks absolutely fantastic. I've seen some of the roaming actor interactions with people that have popped up on shorts, and they look really good. I'm quite excited to have that interaction with the actors.
You know what's really odd, though? I keep reading about the Invisible Man. Well, I've not seen him yet.
Have you not?
No.
Funny that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I keep seeing people saying they've got a photo with the Invisible Man, but where are they? You know what I mean? But yeah, annual pass previews are running until early May, I want to say. Early May.
So. I think they've got a bit of a gap, haven't they, between the annual pass previews and the official opening.
Should we go? Maybe. We'll see. But I'm definitely going in June. I'm definitely going in August and September. So, yeah, it will be epic to go. And just trying to think, 22nd of May is the official opening. Mm-hmm. There is already a lot of great content out there. I mean, I'll be honest, I have watched 2 vlogs. Luckily, there are 2 vlogs that don't give a lot away. I watched one from Tim Tracker, and I've watched a couple of videos, actually. They're not vlogs, they're more like shorter videos, like featurette videos from the Pew 2. So I've obviously watched a whole vlog from Tim Tracker, and then watched a bit of the Pew 2 stuff. If it did look like there was any spoilers, I've been like, skip it on. But also, I mean, none of these people are going to watch this video, but I'm going to talk about their content because it's amazing anyway. On Instagram, we recently followed a page called The Unfriendly Hero. And his content of Epic is just making me want to get on the next flight and just like literally just go.
Okay.
Because he's just brilliant at what he's doing. So yes, there is a lot of content out there already. Obviously, Mr. Worldwide's gone this weekend, so I'm sure by the point I release this video, you may have seen that. So there is going to be a lot of Epic Universe content on this channel, on other channels. Be sure to support all the creators who go out there and film, because there'll be lots of different opinions and stuff on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going. I'm looking forward to, once I've been, actually sitting down and watching everyone's content, because I don't want to get like too many spoilers yet. But yeah, I'm excited.
I think it's going to be fun to kind of take it just as it comes.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know, not really knowing a plan as such and just kind of going for it.
Yeah.
Like already to like, you kind of tell what order to kind of tackle things in, but like it'd be nice to see if that works or not. So it's going to be a little bit out into the unknown, really. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. What ride are you most excited for?
There's so many.
Yeah.
Can I pick loads? I think.
Well, you've only got 11 to pick from.
I think that the highlight is going to be Monsters Unchained.
Agreed.
I think that has the making to be a fantastic dark ride. I personally really like the Forbidden Journey ride system, and Monsters Unchained is the same ride system, but I believe it's a lot better. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm really excited for that one, and I'm quite excited to see Stardust Racers.
Yeah.
And Isle of Burke. I think that'd be quite a surprise hit, actually. I keep forgetting about that one. But
Same.
the more I've seen like with the actors and stuff, I think that's going to be a really fun area to go to.
Yeah, what I'm choosing not to do right now is to get too excited about the Ministry ride, the Harry Potter Ministry ride, because obviously it's had quite a few delays and it's got the virtual queuing system. So I'm a little bit worried about that one. So I'll be excited about that when I'm in the queue. But I'm still a little bit like, just have managed expectations with that one in case the first time I go, I don't get on it for any reason. But Stardust Racers, it's a roller coaster. It's Mack rides. If it's anything like Helix, it's going to be special. If it's anything like Helix and it's dueling, which it is, it should be really special. Like, literally got my Helix jumper on today. I love that coaster. It's so good. But before we wrap up this podcast here on Your Experience Guide, I just want to say, if you are interested in Orlando content, please do check out our videos from 2024. There will be a link in the top of the screen to all of our videos from Florida 2024, including this man on the Sky Coaster.
Oh.
You really want to see that. It's
No, you don't.
absolutely not flattering for Stephen at all. So you need to see it. Also, there's Halloween Horror Nights and other such stuff like that. So if you haven't seen...
And I went.
You did?
I went. I went to Halloween Horror Nights.
This is why you need to go to Tully's.
Nah.
You'd love it.
but like, yeah, if you want to see Steve doing some Halloween events, that's the only time you're going to see it, I think.
Yeah. Didn't we have a bit of a challenge last year? If we got a video to 500 likes, you'd agree to doing a Halloween event. I think we need to do that again.
No. I've done it now.
Well, you nearly made a mistake in the Alton Towers video the other day where you were like, if you get to 50,000 subs by this point, I'll do the Sky Coaster again.
Yeah, it looks like you might make it though.
And then I showed him the subscriber count and he was like, I'm going to retract that statement right now. But yeah, if you would like to see that video of the Sky Coaster and other content from Florida, please do check out the playlist that was linked earlier. Is that all for today, mister, or have we got any more news?
I think we can wrap it up there. I'm sure there'll be some more news that pops up at some point.
Yeah, just as we click off from recording, wrap this video up, some big news will break, and we'll be about 4 weeks behind with it.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that is all from us today. If you have enjoyed this podcast episode, please do hit the like button. It's a little thumbs up below. Maybe if we get to, 300 likes, Stephen might do a Halloween event. You don't have to agree or disagree. I think we'll just do it. But yeah, if we could get to 300 likes, that would be incredible. It's a little thumbs up below. Please do subscribe. Please do comment. Many thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.